Good morning. Today we will read in non-detail. Non-detail means not detailed. Then what are the details you read? Prose and poetry. What are the non-details? You have got short stories. You have got one-act drama. You have got one short biography also. So these are non-details, not in details. But the problem with us is this, that when the 90% students do not know how to read English, they can't read English. So what is the problem? We have to teach them word by word, otherwise they won't. If you tell them story, they'll forget. If you ask them to read, they will not read. Because even at their home, they do not have sufficient ground or background for reading or for preparing. See, this is the problem. Non-detail, we really read stories. Now the important thing is this, that it should not be taught in the class. You should come prepared and you will ask the questions. Of course, the students may clarify some difficult words. That is their right. Okay? Then you prepare some short questions. Then only you can reach a student. But the situation is not the same thing. They do not read, neither at home nor in the college. They go through key books which are more difficult than the textbooks. So, what to do? A teacher has to teach. May not be line by line, but at least one or two lines or sentences from each paragraph. He must tell you the background. So suppose a story is there, because remember, this is not detailed, non-detailed, not detailed. So, suppose a story is there, Trust Property. Trust Property by Tagore, where you find a teacher can ask, who is Jagannath Kundu? Okay? What is his son's name? What is his grandson's name? What do you mean by trust? I trust you. It is a trust. The people make a trust, the property trust, that after my death it will be given to him or to the people like this. So there is a trust. Look at this. Trust property. So look how teacher has to say in such a way that the students can understand the story, can know what are the questions, because mostly if you If you apply short questions, they can. How did Jagannath Kundu live? How did Jagannath Kundu live? You can ask, how did? Was he an open man or a miser? Answer is very miser. How do you know he is a miser? No, he did not want to spend the treatment for his son's wife. What is his argument? Argument is that if medicine could cure, there should not have been death. Remember it. Look at this. The problem with us is this. We have to create interest in the class. And you can read 1 or 2 lines from the text. Then you find, why did Vrindavan Kundu and Jagannath Kundu fell out? Means they did not pull on well, because after his wife's death, he got angry with his father because he was miser. So you know, he didn't want to spend. So Vrindavan Kundu left with his son. And what happened? Now in our culture, a grandson is sweeter than the son. A grandson is sweeter than the son. Look at this. How strange. So what did Jagannath Kundu do? Jagannath Kundu kept his property and he wants a trust after his death, because all his property will be received by his grandson. Nobody else. So he was moving like a madman, because son left, grandson left, son's wife died. So look at this. He had no sleep in the daytime. In the scorching heat, he moved from like a madman, from place to place. And one day, he came across or got this Nitai Kundu. Okay? He could not. He did not meet him because Nitai Kundu had changed his name. And he didn't remember his grandson. So he took the child and carried him, gave him food, and look at this. He gave him food, took care of him, and what happened? What happened? Now, he made him a trust that after death of Jagannath Kundu, all property will go to his grandson. And this boy is only a trustee. So what did he do? He worshipped, he made a yajna, worshipped, and he made the boy sit, and after that he covered the stone slab. Stone slab. Okay. Then the child started crying, shouted, "No, grandpa, I am not that. I am your grandson." But there's no use. No use. He remained as a trustee and he died there. When everything came, when his son came, that what about his child? He said, "What child?" No, that child came and this, and father, he was my son. What? Your son? He became mad. The old man became mad because how greed makes one mad. Too much greed. Look at this trust property. Trust property. Because he trusted that the property will be even to his grandson when he comes. Ironically, he didn't know that his grandson was killed by himself. Look at this. So this is a story, and you can say so many short questions may be because in your when you ask the students, see that they read the text. Without that, they cannot answer the questions. They cannot answer the questions. They have to read the text. I don't mean complete text, but they must have touch with the text. So look, they don't ask you the story. They give you a portion, and from the portion, because it is not detail, it is non-detail. From the portion, they ask you questions. That means whether a student has understood the topic, the story or not. So there are so many stories in your book. My point is, you have to read the text. Maybe just a glance, or maybe thoroughly. You have to. No way out. Okay? So you find this another story is there, all of you know it, and suppose Mahatma Gandhi's life story. That also comes. His experiments with truth, some first relations. It is like a biography. Because all your questions will be not general questions, from the textual, from the text. My point is whether the students read the text or not. Without text there is no meaning. You have to read the text. You have to understand the text and find out the meaning of difficult words. Because sometimes the questions are set, the meaning of difficult words. So you find that this is the story, Mahatma Gandhi's stories you find, or the biography Subhash Bose. Small, they won't ask you big things. Small children book, and you can know Subhash. Where was he born? You say he was born in Calcutta. What is his father's name? You know these things. So, was he a patriot? Of course, he was a patriot. He was a patriot. Subhash Bose was a patriot of the first order. So you find that this is biography. This is non-detail. Similarly, a drama. You have one or two plays, I think. You have one or two plays, the passage will be from that, and you have to find out who says this thing in drama, who says these things, what is the subject of his speech, what does he belong to, okay, what is his real name. So you find that biography, or you find they will not ask you long type questions, short questions, but the students fail because they do not answer correctly. They copy the answer given in the questions. That is the most negative drawback of a student. Don't copy it. Try to write in your own words. The same thing will be there. So in your own words, unless you know that, you will be nowhere. Okay? So you find that I don't have book with this your story. Now there are so many things. So my point is, force a student to read. You have to take him to task in the class. Force him. Because your non-detailed classes are more important, and you are more responsible there, because students will not come with the text. But remember, don't forget to carry the text with you. You have to come with the text. So you find that answer and that you can answer these questions from the passage, but don't copy it. Don't copy it. Thereby you get half mark. At least one get mark, you have to write the correct answer. Completely correct answer without any mistake, you get 2 out of 2 or 6 out of 6. Because nowadays it is not difficult to secure good mark in English, provided you know how to write. No bombastic word, a simple word. In the text there are so many words you can learn. You can learn so many words. So no problem. You can learn so many words. So don't fear it. Okay? Then you find another is that you have to get prepared how to write paragraph. Each paragraph is important. Each paragraph has introductions and conclusion. Remember, each paragraph has introduction and conclusion. So, introduction, first line should be introductions and last line should be the conclusion of a paragraph. Or you find story. Okay? So don't mind all those things. You have to. And for paragraph, you have to give a title, you may have to give a title. Or you write down the summary of the paragraph. Summary of the paragraph. Because they ask you plain summary. That question will be there and they will ask you 10 marks summary. Summary means not a single word should be copied from the text. Remember, not a single word should be copied from the text. Should be lifted from the text. You have to write in your own words. In your own words. If you copy from the passage, you will be given less mark, even fail mark. Okay? Then you find it comes to, all these are, it comes to later an application. Later an application. Later they don't ask you nowadays, but they ask you applications. Applications are very important because whatever job you do, you have to write an application. To get a job, or you met with an accident while coming to college, you have to train your students how to write it. To whom to address? To whom to address? And what to address? Whom and what? So you may be asked to write an application. There is no electricity in your area for a long time. So what you have to do? You have to write an application. To whom you should write? Naturally to the executive engineer. To the executive engineer, electricity board, or to the SDO, if you have that SDO. Okay. And You have to write down the subject. No electricity in our area. You can write down the name of the area for the last 10 days. Then you write, sir, I belong to this area. There is a high school in this area. There are two ME school, UP school, but there is no light. There is electricity, but we are deprived of getting electricity for the last 10 days. So we request you to take necessary steps to restore power or electricity in our area, because there is also a public health center and there is also a doctor. Primary health center, there is a doctor also. Without electricity he doesn't come regularly. So what to do? And without electricity there is no water also in the area. So look at this. This is all non-detail, not detail. Now this is everything. You have to write extra work. There is no facilities, extra work. Okay? Or even there is theft. Theft, you know, in your locality. To whom to address? Maybe Inspector of Police Station or maybe SP. Whoever may be the head, and you say, sir, I belong to this place and my house belongs to this area, which is under the direct control of Inspector of Police or SP. We do not have safety. There is theft every night. There is theft every night, and we cannot do anything. Even villagers have made it a point to go on night duty, but they have not been able to do anything. So I request you to look into the matter and do the needful, for which I shall be ever grateful to you. That's all. And you get 5 out of 10. Because never write something which you cannot, which you do not know. Don't expose your ignorance. Don't expose your ignorance to those people. That is very bad thing. For that, try to know, try to write what is known to you. Do not show that you are an idiot. So all these are, you find, unnecessary things for your work. I told you story, I told you drama you may get an actor. Sketch the character, they don't have a long questions. Always objective questions. because you have to answer, write down. In my time there is no, we used to get by heart and write it. But now, no getting by heart. You have to write your own. Write your own. Therefore, the students fail because they can't write. So the students fail. हेगा क्या huh? How to write an essay? It is very important thing. Essay, you have 10 marks, and essay you have got introduction, body and conclusion. Introduction, body and conclusion. How to write an essay? Essay is, essay is I say to myself. I say to myself. Essay is I say to myself. Essay. Essay is a loose sally of the mind. Sally. Sally means that comes like your penny or like your that chowmein that comes from your mouth, whatever may be, essay, and you have essay for 10 marks or 20 marks, 10 marks, and 200 words. I think 200 words. So, introduction, body, conclusion. You may go for paragraph also. Suppose science or corona, COVID-19. We have never heard of COVID, or we have never heard of, students have heard of cholera, TB or smallpox, because from birth we are habituated to this. We used to take injection, then tablets for malaria, injection for typhoid, and also tika for the smallpox. And this corona has been a new experience from old to young. Old people, they did not have any experience of this corona. Young, the same thing. Young suffer less, but old people suffer more. Old people suffer more. And it has taken a lot of lives from the world. It started in China, and nobody knows where did it come from. But we suffer tremendously, because this was unexpected. Scientists are working day and night to find out the medicine and to prevent it. No question of curing it, prevent it. Prevention is better than cure, because it will take time. Like smallpox, it took a long time to wipe it out from the world. Now there is no smallpox. But remember, when you were children, or when your fathers were children, people used to die of smallpox, or even big scars on their face and the body. So you find these are minimum thing that corona, government have been taking steps to prevent it. So there are so many things to take precaution. Cover up your face, and also your nose, and never come in contact with a person suffering from corona. Never come in contact. But we happen sometimes. But for a young man, he can survive. He can fight it. But for an old man, he cannot. He can't. So, the one thing is that prevention is better than cure. We have to prevent. We have to use sanitizer and clean ourselves, and we have to be away from the man suffering from that, and never expose yourself outside without any serious engagement, because we have lost touch with the outside world for the last 6 months. Who knows, there will be another 6 months, and this comes as cold and fever, and it gets hold up your lungs. So corona essay comes. Don't go to big things. Write within 200 words. What is corona? Don't try to define. You can't. How this is affected? How it is affected? Okay? And what are the steps you have decided to take? or your younger brother is in the school hostel, that question may come. Advise him through a letter. Advise him through a letter how to take steps against corona. Okay? So, go to that place. Stay with them. So, be prepared. Ask students to get prepared for this corona. There may be an essay or maybe an advice to your young friend or brother who lives in the hostel, and to advise him what to do. Don't write much, because you do not know anything much about corona. I do not know anything about corona. But what is minimum knowledge, you have to write it. We never try to show off. That is minus marking. Write something very simple. Where did it come from? You need not write about that. Do we know it came from China? Do we know? Who knows? It may come because nowadays the world is big. 1% is there to finish the world, because we are so much associated, so much connected, that there is nothing we can do it. Okay? So there may be a question. Then you find and when you write a letter, remember, it should be very personal and emotional. Don't try to show something which you do not know. That is a very bad thing. Tell him simple language, what is required of you. Ever try to show off your knowledge, because your teachers know much more than you. Tell your students that you know much more, but let them write, let them make a practice of it at home. This is how the life has changed. All festivals are not observed. Durga Puja will not be observed. Look at this. So, Eid was not observed. Muharram was not observed. So it has got the entire humanity, this corona. So we should be very careful about this. Okay? Thank you. Hello? Huh?